Good morning, agents. Here at the Concordia University St. Paul campus, right by this fountain. I'm here because my daily bounties included a task to destroy 2 enemy links, and well, I figured this might be enough. So I'm starting my day here, and I took out the mods with some Ultra Strikes, took out some of the resonators with some level 7 bursters, and boom. Whole bunch of AP. I actually didn't look at how much AP it was. You should be able to see it in the gameplay footage, but once again, the local Enlightened has decided to anchor all of his fields off of the same portal. And this is what happens when he does that. Yesterday, I actually was meaning to go and do something similar, but somebody else beat me to it. So he's becoming a target. Like, that's all he's doing. He's creating a big target on his portals, and it's a choice. I don't know, but it's gone now. I'm actually going to try to build in this area so that he has a little bit more work to do if he wants to rebuild that field, but then I'll move on to bluer pastures, I think. Go closer to home because there's some expansion I could do to the east, and I really prefer to do that. It's just more interesting work, really. So that's my plan. Come back to you with an update later. Alright, after about 15 minutes running around inside the sort of enclosed campus area in Concordia, things are pretty much fielded up. I've got keys so I can link back in. I'm just going to run around sort of the outskirts and try to field in that portal that the local Enlightened agent was using, so that he's got to fight through a couple layers of defensive links before he can field out again. See how possible that is. It's a bit complex, this area, because like there's sort of walls on 3 sides. It's like there's 3 entrances to that sort of quad area, and it's just really annoying to get into and out of. So I tried to finish that up first, and then I'm moving on to the stuff that's on the outside, which is a lot easier to get to, and I can more easily connect that up to stuff outside of the quad, or the knoll, I guess is what that's what the portal's called. So I'm gonna keep working on that, but I'm doing okay on gear, I think. I could potentially get, I don't know, a few more, like, I don't know, I don't want to spend much more than like a half hour here, so I'm gonna get on to fielding things up, and I will come back to you with another update in a bit. Alright, agents, I'm still at Concordia. I'm in the sort of athletics complex, I guess. This is like the track field and the football field and the soccer field all rolled into one. There's like a softball practice thing over there that's a portal. This area is really annoying because there's only one way in or out. You kind of just have to go back and forth in a line, which is not ideal. Ideally, you want to go in a circle, because then you can start and stop at the same place. But nevertheless, this is looking pretty good. I'm just going to go up to the north here and link everything up here to a portal that's up there, and then I can move on to some of the stuff that's a little further east. That should go a little bit better. It's just a little easier to access. But I'll come at you with another update soon. Alright, folks. Walking away from Concordia University at this point, I figured I should stop before I got into a certain sports complex of all of our acquaintance. I don't want to make every video about that place. I actually needed to stop anyways, because I'm finding it difficult to keep mods and level 4 resonators in stock. So I'm going to go and hack some portals for a little while. Nothing interesting, just level 5s, but just try to get some gear built up so that I can go out again a little later and do a little bit more work. Ideally on my neighborhood as opposed to being over here in Concordia. As much as I like this place, it is fairly pleasant to scooter around in. There are a whole bunch of students around, and that somewhat lessens the ease of scootering in the area, so I have to avoid all of them scuttling around going to classes. Yeah, overall I think that's a good plan. I'm just gonna head back towards sort of the center of my fielding that I try to maintain, and I'll come back to you a little bit with a report as to how that went, probably from the intel den. And yeah, probably get back out in a little bit and do even more fielding, because I'm hoping I can get to level 12 today, honestly, if I just like power through a little bit. I also have less to accomplish today than usual. I managed to pre-record a couple videos for my gaming channel, link in the description. So I have a little extra time in the day potentially. We'll see how that goes. I'll come back to you in a bit, Agent. All right, folks, I am back here in the Intel Den. Just wanted to give you a quick update about how things are going. I did get some work done on just hacking gear, and that seems to have gone pretty well. I'm glancing at the Intel map now, and you can see here, things look a little bit better. There used to be a big green blob right here, and now it looks like I did a pretty good job of like fielding it in so that if he wants to reuse that anchor, he's not going to be able to. He'll have to use something else. Sadly, he has plenty of options. But next on my list is probably to field east and or south, because I've been focusing a lot on that western area, and I'd really like to expand somewhere that isn't quite so contested. And I definitely have real estate to work with, so it's probably where I'm gonna head. I'm gonna have to get rid of some keys though, because I'm a little light on inventory space. But that's my plan. I'm just gonna take a quick sit down here. I might have a cup of tea, and actually maybe lunch, and then I'll get back to it. But stay tuned. I'll come back with more updates in a little bit. All right, agents. I'm here in what used to be a Subway parking lot. Now it's just an empty parking lot. Near J. Selby's and the Rondo Exchange, which I think is maybe misnamed. I'm not sure if this is actually part of the historically Rondo neighborhood. But anyways, I digress. This is sort of an anomalous area. There's like a burst of density in this area. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 portals kind of all within a block, like all at this intersection. So it kind of messes up the fielding, but hopefully it all makes sense in the end. I've pretty much finished with this area. I'm just going to move on to sort of south of here on Victoria and east of here, or no, west of Victoria to the south. Try to field up that area all the way down to Summit Avenue, and hopefully be able to then expand along Summit, because there's a lot of portals on Summit. But there's a lot of portals on Victoria I have to deal with first, including Mitchell Hamlin Law School, which has a bunch of portals on it. And let's see, I feel like there's something else in between here and there, but actually I think that's mostly it. It's just the stuff on Victoria down to Mitchell Hamlin, and then I just have to kind of close up the gaps between here and there. So that should be doable. I'll come back to you in a little bit after I've made a little bit more progress. All right, agents. Done a little work filling up this area between like Victoria and Summit and Selby. Doing pretty well, I would say. But I've come to sort of the Mitchell Hamlin campus now, which is definitely a little bit more dense. So it's going to take more time. So I thought I'd just real quick record an update, make sure y'all knew what was going on. I think the other thing is, I don't know, these streets are a little hard to navigate, if I'm honest. There's like a weird two one-way streets that go in opposite directions, and it's just difficult to know which way to go. On the scooter, it's not so bad, but definitely when I'm driving, I don't like doing that area at all. So it's okay, I guess, since I'm on the scooter today. But also, the streets are just really wet. There's like, it's hard to brake sometimes. Had a couple of near incidents. Thankfully, nothing actually bad happening just yet, but yeah. This is a nice neighborhood. I really like it's very well covered by trees, which is something that sadly is not true of a lot of St. Paul right now, because we have emerald ash borer that we've been dealing with for some years now. They're tearing out a lot of the trees. Certainly in my neighborhood, there's just not as many trees as there once were, or at least they're smaller. Anyway, hop back into it, filled up Mitchell Hamlin, and I'll come back to you in a bit. All right, agents, 15 minutes later or so, and to say progress is slow. It's actually not just Mitchell Hamlin. There's also this church, and then there's another church down the block there. So there's a whole lot of portals kind of on this block. I've just been going up and down, and they just don't want to give me keys. I'd probably be done with this if they were actually giving me keys in my hats, but I'm just going up and down. Honestly, I'm recording this video partly because I need to take a break so I can let the cooldown expire so that I can hack for more keys, because these portals are just intransigent. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. After I'm done with this block, I can go, because Mitchell Hamlin is this big building, and it kind of stretches the whole block. So there's not really any going through it. I just have to kind of finish this stretch and then go around the building and do the portals there. So I'd really like to get the keys for this area and then move on. But it's just, as I say, it's being difficult. So I'm gonna get to it again here. Hopefully now the cooldown is up and I can start doing something useful again. I'll come back to you in a bit. Alright, agents. So I walk along Lexington Parkway here, which is a bit of a misnomer, honestly. The speed limit here is 30 miles an hour. It's not a park. It's a car haven. Anyway, I digress. I think I did pretty well. I fielded from Victoria along Summit to most of the stuff that I picked up today. Most of the stuff that exists. It's all pretty well fielded up. Good defensive mods, except for the last little bit. I definitely ran out of shields and weapons near the end, but I can hack more, don't worry. Sun came out, as you can kind of see behind me, or as you can rather not see my face, because I'm backlit this entire time. So it became a little more pleasant, and then it became a little more warm. So I'm actually going to be pretty happy to be home, have some water and some tea, chill out a little bit. Be nice. Plus I can maybe do a little bit of work, planning something. I keep saying I've got big plans in the works. Definitely do. But I need time to do them. So this afternoon I think is likely when I will get into that. So, yeah, the day was a success for sure. Got a lot of good work done. And I think, despite the fact that our local Enlightened friend has put that big field back up, I'm pretty sure I can go take it down pretty soon. Next checkpoint's not until 4, so I have a little under 3 hours to do that. Pretty sure one of my scooters will be fully charged by then. I'll probably head out around 3:30 and just go and destroy it right before checkpoint. It'd be funny if he was thinking, oh, I'll just go there right before checkpoint to make sure if he does destroy it, I can throw it. No, I'm gonna wait till 1 minute before checkpoint, bro. You're not getting this thing back up. Because he actually did throw it right before checkpoint this morning, so that was a bit of a misstep on my part. Anywho, I want to thank all of the folks who are supporting me over on Patreon. They are currently Zach Nelson, BigBadaBoom, Minnesota Resistance, and Teri Lynn. Thank you to all of those folks. If you want to join their ranks, check out the link in the description. That's where you can find my Patreon profile, and I would greatly appreciate your help. It makes sure that I can afford the electricity to charge my scooters and get these fields up every day. If you have any suggestions for what I should do in the next video, or any thoughts on this video, do please leave them in the comments. And as always, make sure you like the video, because I know you like the video, and subscribe to the channel. With that, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.